Maverick fam, how's it going? How is your mama? Your boy Dion, aka I Maverick, back for the epic Rants series. Now it's been a minute. I don't know why I like to yo-yo this on y'all. Like I'll do it and I'll take it away and then I'll do it. It's not purposely, but that just always seems to be what happens. So I think last time the support kind of dropped on it, and so I focused on some other things. But I know for the people that do watch, there's a nice core, even if it's not a lot of you guys, that you really get a lot out of it. And there's been talk of starting a podcast, which I don't know which direction I want to go, whether it's more like mental mindset type deals or maybe entrepreneurship or whatever. So I'm still, I don't know. I don't know yet. But until then, we can still do this series. If you are new, what this is you guys send me an email to reachimav@gmail.com. Hopefully Juice or Zoe, whoever's editing this, put it on the screen right now. If they didn't, tweet me so I can fire them. And then you send the question, I read it, I give you an answer. And I don't go through and I don't answer every question that I get. This email has thousands of unread emails in it, but I'll open some and try to be specific with the subject so I know what it's about. And if I got 2 cents to add to it, I will. What a lot of people think, because I've done this series in the past, that I know everything, that I know all, and I really don't. I really don't. Like, I know a few things, and those few things I kind of know a little bit well, and I've experienced a lot of my life, and I just share that. And I just say, take the good, take the bad. Like, well, if it works for you, take it. If it doesn't, you know what I mean? Just keep it moving. Yeah, I got some emails already opened. I'll try to, like, summarize them. I won't read all of them like I used to do in the past. And we'll get this show on the road. So this first one comes from a young man from New York who's, the title says confusion about my future. And this is actually some of these are really old. My bad. It's been a minute since I got to this. But basically he's confused because he's about to go to college and he's going to a film school, but he also wants to do a YouTube channel. He's like, I don't know if I have the time, because I got 10-hour classes. And he's like, my question is, do you think I will be putting too much on my shoulders to try and do both with full effort? And I would say no, I don't. I think that if you a punk or you a chump, then maybe if you don't got what it takes, right? But I think people need to understand that if you really want something, that's it. Like, you make that decision. It's like it's on or off, right? It's not, there's no in between. It's like, do you want it? Yes. Well, then you assess your situation, you do what you got to do, you make sacrifices, and you make it happen. Now, if you're asking me, can you do 10-hour classes, have 4 baby mamas, go out with your friends every night, be on the Fortnite leaderboards, and, you know, learn how to hoop on the weekend? You probably can't. No. You might have the next 4 years of your life may be the most boring, uneventful years of your life, but you can easily go to school and do a YouTube channel or anything else. You can do whatever it is that you want. It's just how bad do you want it, right? When it came to us building our YouTube channel, oh, there was so much sacrifice, right? I'm kind of just getting to the point where I'm making a lot of friends, and really it's through YouTube. I've always had a lot of friends, but this last season of my life, like from like the end of college up until now, it's been grinding. It's been a lot of work, very little sleep, not a lot. I don't have a lot of fancy things, right? Like, it's all been like reinvested, and so it's just been sacrificed. So if you're even asking questions like that, you got the wrong mindset. It's just like, all right, how can I make this happen? Keep what you can, get rid of what's in the way. I'm also noticing a lot of emails about pornography and people that are struggling with that. I don't remember exactly what I said in it, but I'm sure if I were just to give you my answer again, I'd probably have a similar answer. So just search or check the playlist. Make sure you guys check the playlist. I have a previous episode where I share thoughts on that. What type of books do you read? And if so, can you give me a list of them? I read a lot of books. I read everything. So I just finished a book about dreaming. It was written by a pastor, so it was kind of like a Christian-based book. Fluff, I forget what it's called. I just finished it. The Dream-Centered Life, something like that, by something Barnett. That was actually a really good book. Like, right next to me, I have a marketing book, Expert Secrets, Russell Brunson. Really good book. I usually have more books like right around me. I actually just took my backpack home with a lot of books in it. I think I might have brought some back for me today. Actually, a book that I'm reading now. I guess we can see how far I am through it. The Richest Man Who Ever Lived, King Solomon. I've actually been doing a lot of studying on King Solomon. I'm not gonna lie. Probably my favorite ninja in the Bible. The wisest and richest man that ever lived. And I wouldn't mind being rich and wise. And so I really like Solomon. So I read a lot on him. I'll show you guys some of the library that I have. And I haven't read all of these books. I read a lot of them though. I get a lot of I have this Kindle my man AJ put me onto. It's like it looks like paper almost. And so it doesn't mess with your eyes. And so a lot of my books on there, like I have a book on there right now that I'm reading that's about spiritual warfare. And so I read a lot of like Christian books, but I also love business and marketing and stuff like that. So just something that I love that I'll grab. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, if you're trying to get your money right and understand money. Here's the thing, a lot of people don't have money and they don't keep money and they don't get more money because they don't understand how it works. I promise you. And I'm still learning it, so I don't want to act like I'm the know-all, right? But I'm not broke anymore, and I used to be broke, and it's because I didn't understand money. I didn't know how to attract it. And I don't like the word attract it, because that kind of takes you into the realm of like The Secret, right? People are like, if you just believe it, you'll manifest it, which I do believe. I actually think that's a biblical concept, but it's not just thinking about it and not going out and putting the work in. But I'm ranting, which is what this series is about. But let me get back on the topic of some of these books. Oh no, let me finish this thought too. So yeah, just once you start to understand money, how it works, and how to manage it, you'll be surprised when your bank account you start to add commas to it. There's so many books. Like, look at this. Like, and I want to have like when I'm at the house, I got to show you guys. I got like a small little shelf with books on it too. But like, some of these, I'll just go in and I'll just get nuggets out of it. Like, I'll treat it like a library. You know what I mean? I like this one. I like this one a lot. You guys definitely check out Change Your Brain, Change Your Life. Like, people don't really understand like brain health. Like, brain health is legit. And if you don't think about it, like, watch, let me find. There's these scans they do. All right, these SPEC scans, and basically what these scans do is they look at like blood flow and activity in your brain, and like a good scan should look like this, but as you know, you don't take care of your brain health, there starts to get these little craters and divots and stuff, and they're not actual divots, the craters are showing like decreased activity in blood flow, right? See, look, here's a bad one. That's what a normal one should look like, right? And there's a lot of different things that affect your brain health. One, just like impact and getting hit. And so we're pretty sure we're not going to let our son, if we have one, which I think we will, we're going to have a son. I want sons. I need kings. But when we do, I don't think I'm going to let them have, unless they make some great technical, technological advances to where like them helmets are like crazy. I don't think I'm gonna let my son play football, man, which is so crazy because I played football. I loved it. My older brother played football. But when you really start to research it, like them concussions and just not even just getting hit in the brain is bad. Our brain, like the inside of it, is like jagged and hard. And like our brain's like the consistency of like butter. And so when it's just hitting that, like it's not meant to do that. And so stuff like that though, but things like diet, depression, stress, all these things mess with your brain, man. So pick that up and like take your brain serious. It's actually pretty cool. Oh, for real. Top 5 easy. The new Psycho Cybernetics. You can get this on the first time I read this was on I actually listened to it. It was on YouTube. Because it was like an audio book that someone ripped off, and I just listened to it for free. It was like 8 hours or something. So that's a good one. I don't know. There's a lot of different things here. And a lot of these are deeper, like marketing books that aren't that big a deal for most people. Oh, The Power of Habit is good. This is really good. How to change and break bad habits. And just understanding how they work. So like in that book, they'll talk about how like all of our habits have like cues. So there's like a cue, something that cues us to like do the habit, and then we have a routine, what we actually do, and then there's like a reward. And so there's just that pattern, that loop that brings us into habits, and you can like, it's actually not that hard to change them. Sometimes if you just like change the cue, and so you can like fix a lot of your bad habits. So for example, some people that are like, man, I'm struggling with pornography, right? What is that cue? Start thinking about it. You probably know what the cue is. You on Instagram and you see a big booty, right? And then you instantly hop into that routine, right? Young meat beat, right? So just switch. You gotta look for all those cues and start eliminating those, and then put new cues and new routines and healthier habits in place of that. I just made that seem really simple. It's deeper than that. Get the book. All right, I think I'm gonna peace out so this doesn't take up the whole video. But I'm just trying to pull out a good prayer by Miles Monroe. This man breaks down prayer like really, really well. I didn't really understand prayer, which is not that it's that complicated, but I just felt a lot more confident praying after reading that. Man, I think we're gonna start there, or stop there. I gave you guys a good starting spot. And then just, scan some of these. Some of these might make sense to different people depending on what you're going through. Some of them more business oriented and like leadership. Some are like apologetics. I even got books on like atheism. Check those out, right? The God Delusion by Richard Dawkins. I read a lot, man. Like, I'll read weird stuff too. Like I haven't got to it yet, but I have books somewhere up on like persuasion and pickup and stuff. And this is like marketing stuff. This is for marketing, how to effortlessly attract women. The women you want. I just butchered that title. You're like, Ninja, you don't read these books. Chill, bro. Chill. But like a lot of that goes into like persuasion and selling and marketing, sell or be sold. Like, I don't know, I'm real weird. I read everything that's not fictional. I don't read fiction, but I read everything else, man. I'm a nerd. And as I set this back up, I actually think I did something like this in a previous episode, so you can kind of see more of my favorite books and what I was reading back then. But yeah, hope that helped. Another email, basically someone saying, how do they help with confidence? They need to put on more weight and they want to play sports, but they're lazy. Like, you shouldn't expect to feel confident if you're lazy. People got to think, like, people think that people are born with confidence. And I actually don't believe that. I don't believe that confidence is like necessarily, I don't think you're just born with like this internal confidence, like I'm confident in all these areas. A lot of times your confidence is going to come from your the time that you put in, right? So let's think of someone who's at the top of their game. Michael Jordan, right? If I step on the court with Michael Jordan, of course he's going to be confident in playing me in basketball, right? But that confidence that doesn't transcend everywhere, right? I'm not done with that point, so don't just take it and run with it yet. Don't turn this off. Let me finish this. If I were to take him to play Fortnite, right, which is what I'm about to play, he wouldn't be very confident in his ability to necessarily win in Fortnite. I don't know that. Michael Jordan might be great at Fortnite, but I'm saying if he doesn't play Fortnite, his confidence isn't going to be there. And so in something specific like in sports and wanting to put on weight, you have to put the work in and your confidence will follow that, right? And I do believe you can take it a little step back a little bit and work on changing your self-image. And that's in that book, Psycho-Cybernetics. That's some really good stuff. But then that's going to help you start putting the work in. And once you put the work in, you're going to get results. And the results are going to strengthen that confidence. That's going to reinforce your beliefs about yourself. And then you work harder, you get more results. And it's this vicious cycle. And so don't feel bad if you're not confident in an area. That just means you need to put more work in and you'll build that confidence. Now, there is a such thing as like having, and I said, I don't think you're born with this either though, but there's an overall confidence. So for example, I'm a very confident person. I walk around, I'm confident when I talk to people. You can tell that I'm confident. And when I'm trying something new, right? So I'm playing a new game that I'm not necessarily confident that I'm gonna win in, but I'm confident that I can pick it up and I can do well. If it's something that I want to be good at and I put my mind to it, I can be confident there. And I'm confident with who I am as a person. And that really comes down to just getting to the root of who you are, finding your calling, why you were placed here on this earth. And then you have this, because like you have this filter that you look through, right? So when you really get close to God and you understand why you were put here on this earth, first that gives you confidence, right? Your calling 100% gives you confidence. But then if you're doing bad in something else, that doesn't shape your confidence, because that's not what defines you, right? And you know who you are in Christ, and you have that, and you know that can't be taken away. And so if I do bad in a sport, that doesn't define me. That doesn't define Dion. That doesn't make me a bad person or lesser, or the person that beat me doesn't make them better than me, right? And that's the not as specific confidence that I think is cultivated and grown as you humble yourself, start to build your relationship with God, and you get clear on why you were put here on this earth. I hope that helps. Side note, I really don't think people are lazy. Like, the more I don't know, the more I learn, the more I'm around people, and now I got I'm learning how to be a boss, right? We have employees, and I just study people, and I coach people, and I don't think that people are lazy. It's just about finding what it is that they want to do and how they want to do it. Just like school will label people as dumb when they're really not dumb. They're just they just need to learn a different way, or they need to be stimulated mentally, and just differently in a way that works for them, and they may learn different. And so I think some people are lazy. For example, I was lazy when it came to going to college or going to class in college, because I didn't want to be in college. So you can look at me and say I was very lazy, but I wasn't lazy. I was just spending my time in something else, and I was working actually really, really hard in basketball. And then I transitioned that into like business and marketing. And so I was never really lazy, but there's been times I wasn't going to the gym very well or consistently, and you could be like, oh, I'm lazy. No, I just wasn't the focus right then. And so if you're being categorized as someone that's overall lazy, whether it's by yourself or by someone else, maybe you're heading in the wrong direction. You got to find out what works for you, and find out what motivates you, because you have a lot of people around you that are motivated by a specific thing, and they expect you to be motivated by that. Some people will be like, yo, you're broke, you need to get out here and get this money. You're not necessarily motivated by money. What is it? Like, what motivates you? Get curious. That was just a side note to that last question. Oh, this is a good question. It's probably easier if I read this one. It's not that long, but I've noticed in some of the videos that you and your family make things out to seem something would be gay and laugh about it, which I don't have a problem with. Me and my homeboys do this all the time. But some people who disagree with homosexuality quote the Bible to prove their point. I was just wondering about your views on this. If you have read this far, I will thank you for taking. All right, yeah, bet. So here's the easy thing for me. Easy thing for me. If you want to know, like, all right, what is Mav's thoughts on X, and the Bible has a clear explanation on it, that's what I believe. I really do believe. My worldview that I look at is that the Bible is an ultimate authority. I believe that's a book that actually has power, right? And I actually should have mentioned that when I'm talking about the different books that I read, right? Out of all of them, the one book I read the most consistent and read the most is the Bible. Now, with that being said, I don't want that to be misconstrued, right? Because I think we have some Christians that do a really poor job of, and I don't want to act like I'm perfect and like I haven't fluffed up a lot that's in the Bible, right? But we have a lot of Christians that and this kind of irks me. This is a soft spot for me, because it frustrates me. With my biblical worldview, do I think that homosexuality is a sin? Yes, 100%. Does that mean I'm going around protesting and downing and trying to make anyone that struggles with homosexuality feel any kind of way besides being loved? No, never. You can't find that. I do think in ignorance, like you said, and it used to be bad with my homeboys and stuff too, right? It used to be like, oh man, that's gay. Man, you gay, right? I used to say that a lot. And I don't say that anymore. And because I realized it was hurting people, and that was never my intent. Even though I disagree, I think it's a sin. I think it's a sin just like lying is a sin, which I've lied. All right, and there's not these levels to sin. It's like, oh snap, I lied, but nah, you gay, ninja. Like, no, it don't work like that. And so I don't look like them. Like, I don't look at anyone that's homosexual and feel like I'm above them or I'm any better than them. Now, here's the thing: they may disagree with me that it's a sin, right? And that's cool. And if there's any situation with me and a gay person, you're gonna see them being hostile to me. Like, I ain't sinning this and that. I'm like, all right, cool, bro. I ain't trying to even hate. I ain't even saying nothing to you. Like, you won't find me like running out to a gay person and be like, yo, just so you know, you out here sinning, man. You need to fall back. Like, I don't do that. Just like, unless there's someone that's close, that's family or friends, if they're lying or I know something's up and I feel convicted, I'll talk to them about it, right? But usually I'm trying to get the log out of my own eye before I'm looking for the speck in someone else, right? Trying to make sure my life is in order. I'm not running out here sinning. And so it's not, for me, it's not about homosexuality being on any other level than any different than anything that I've ever done, right? And so I just don't have this hate for anyone that's homosexual, and I think they more so have it for me, and I get it because how poorly Christians have handled that situation. But if you followed me for a long time, you know it's something I've never like backed down from or like low key, that community, what is it, the LGBTQ? I know they added some other stuff, but they'll be trying to bully people, man, especially like a Christian, because they're used to Christians approaching them so aggressively, and that's not me, man. I actually had a friend that I had met who was like going to the church for a little bit. He doesn't go anymore, but someone I would really consider like someone that was a friend. I don't see him anymore because he stopped going. And probably because he felt mistreated by people that were there, and that kind of pisses me off too. But like, I've had people in my life that at one point were a friend that were gay. So hope that. Oh, and then something I want to touch on too. That's something I'm still working on. You will hear me say stuff like I'll mess with juice and everything. I don't, again, because it's not anything that I'm trying to down or anything like that. I'll be very clear. I'm not gay, and if someone like does, like, if Trump touched me, I'll be like, bro, like, that's gay, and I'm not gay. Like, you do what you do on the weekends, but don't bring that over here, right? And that would be the same as a gay person. If someone was straight trying to be on them, and they're like, nah, I ain't straight. You do your straight stuff over here. Let me do my gay stuff. And I'll do stuff like that. But I'm not at a point where I like purposely try to down anyone that's being homosexual, because that's just not how I move. But great question. Ooh, this is getting kind of long. All right, this next one, basically someone moved to a new school. They're struggling to find friends. I think it said they ended up crying for the first time in a long time. Again, I'm getting to an old email. This is actually about to be a year old. It was the beginning of last school year. And so I'm sorry for this person, but hopefully if they're still struggling with this or anyone else is struggling with this, it can help them. Here's my new thing that I'm on. And this is not easy to do, but I really feel like God's been leading me in this direction. Oh, and opening my eyes to this. I think this was something that I was doing good. I was really good with this in the past, and I kind of lost focus, and he's bringing me back to it. Now, we all go through a lot of fluffed up stuff, man. We go through these different challenges, and usually our first prayer is, God, stop this. Stop this. Please, 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 right? I can't even tell you how many times when me and my mom were struggling financially growing up that I prayed, God, please don't make us be broke no more. I don't want to be broke. And my prayer wasn't answered. Well, it has been answered now, but in that season, it never got answered. And I was really confused by that, especially being younger. I'm like, God, I'm supposed to pray. You're supposed to deliver. Like, simple as that. That's how it works. And I felt, almost hurt by it. And now, fast forward to now, I am so grateful. Because here's what we got to understand when we pray. And for some of us, this is a hard concept because we're not built like this, right? So we're praying to an all-knowing God that knows everything, that is everywhere, that is everything, right? Of course, he's a little bit smarter than me. He knows a little bit more. He knows what's around the corner. I don't know what's around the corner. Just like with my daughters, right? There is, and this analogy is just only a little bit of it. You got to multiply this times 1 billion. But for example, my daughters, they think they know it all right now, especially my oldest. Oh my Lord. She thinks she knows it all, but she doesn't, right? And there's a lot of things she asks for, and I give it to her because I love her. But there's other things that she asks for. Not my oldest, we'll say my youngest. She asks for a lot of candy. She asks for a lot of sweets. in her mind, it's good for her. She wants it now. It will make her happy. But me, as her all-knowing father, right? Not all-knowing, but her father that knows more, I can see around the corner a little bit for her. I know that's not what's good for her, so I don't give her the candy that she asked for and the sweets that she asked for when she asked for it. And that's to help her, not to hurt her. Now, if she were to just look at our relationship and say, man, my dad really doesn't love me because every time I ask for candy, he doesn't give it to me. I could see how she would build up some resentment and think that I don't love her. But when she gets older and she realizes all her friends got cavities, their teeth falling out, they're sick because all I did is eat candy, and she's like, wow, I don't have to deal with that. And it's all because my dad didn't give me what I was praying for. She can grow to appreciate that. And so going back to the struggles we've had financially, I'm so grateful for them. Because one, it gave me a way to connect with people like you. Some of you broke motherfluffers out there, like I know what it's like with your broke self, right? And it's all right. And it's cool that I can serve as inspiration to people and help people. Like, it's cool to just have hope, to look at someone and be like, man, they was broke and now they ain't. So there's a lot of things that it's a benefit right now, right? And it's giving me this humility that isn't going anywhere. You know, as I make more money, like I'm so grounded with it, it's crazy. That some people don't even understand it. When it's like, yeah, you don't understand it. If you knew how broke I was growing up, like that's where it comes from. We've actually taken a lot of risks business wise, and I think we're going to continue to take certain risks. And it's just because I'm not afraid of being broke. Like, what you gonna do? Like, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna be broke. So I done been broke. I done lived to tell the story, so it doesn't like scare me like some people. I remember when me and my wife first started having like bad financial struggles, like she was so stressed out. And to me, I was like, I don't get the big deal. We'll just be broke, right? Like a broke was like normal to me, but she isn't used to being broke. And so like I'm used to things being cut off. I'm used to not having much. Not so much now, right? But, and I think it was for a reason. I honestly believe is because at some point, I'm not here yet, but I'm gonna be touching a lot of money. And God was like, I need this humility ingrained in you. So yeah, I hear you praying and it hurts me because I don't like to see this happen, right? But I know it's good for you. And so my new approach to things, or not even my new approach, the approach that I'm reminded of is to stop trying to pray my way out of things and more so pray my way through things. So instead of like, God, take this away from me, like, nah, just make me stronger because you're trying to teach me something. Because we serve a God that has supernatural abilities, we believe that everything's going to be supernatural. God, give me more money, and we expect like ones to just rain down on us like we a stripper, right? But nah, God's like, all right, bet I'm gonna bless you with a job. And you run around telling all your friends that God ain't answering your prayers. He's like, Ninja, I gave you 4 jobs. You just too good to work at fast food right now. Right? And we serve a very natural God. He can be, some of the things are very natural. You pray for patience. And it's not like it's not an iOS update. He just updates your firmware with patience. Nah. You pray for patience, and then your girlfriend start tripping. Your brother, your mama, your auntie, and them start tripping, and you guys to be patient, and you develop patience. And so, with my man that's struggling at school, I think another huge skill that will make you a lot of money. Actually, one of my first books that I read that I really liked, it was called Overcoming Rejection Will Make You Rich. Learning to get rejected and still be able to still be standing is huge. So many people take rejection and are ready to jump off of a cliff. So put yourself out there, start to meet new people, try it. And I think in the email he said like he's not the type to ask people to be his friend or to hang out. Like, so I guess you about to learn, huh? Or are you gonna be one lonely motherfluffer? Like, that's the world we live in. I can not talk to anyone and be lonely, or I can talk to people and not be lonely. But yeah, what if I try to talk to people and then they reject me and they don't want to be my friend? Well, then you get rejected and you get stronger, right? And so I think that's what you need to do. I think you need to step out your comfort zone. You need to try things. You need to fail and keep trying. It's as simple as that, and you're going to develop. That's how things work. When you first start, you suck. You're not good at it, but the more you do it, the better you get. whether that's with being in relationships, making friends, playing video games, playing sports, doing business. Be okay with being in a season where you're tested, where you're stretched, where you're out your comfort zone, where you're forced to grow and you get better. So that's huge, man. Stop praying out of it, pray through it, and watch yourself, and watch and just put your head down and work through it. And it's gonna be crazy. You're gonna lift your head up one day and you're not gonna recognize where you're at. You're gonna be like, wow, I came so far. Like, me and my wife talk about that all the time. There'll be certain things and we'll be like, yo. Like, let's say my wife would do something, it'll be dope. I'll be like, yo, the you from like 3 years ago wouldn't have been able to do that. You would have struggled to do that, or you would have handled that way different. And we don't even notice it until someone even draws attention to it. It's like, wow, you're right. Like, I really have grown in that area. But it happened very naturally through being in these situations, failing, getting better. I really hope that makes sense to you guys. And I think I'm going to wrap this up right here. Like, this is a decent episode, probably longer than I wanted it to be, but as usual, I rant on things. Make sure you guys hit up the email. I'm going to try to make sure they put it in the description too, but reachimav@gmail.com. And hopefully I do this in like a week or so. Week or 2 or 3 or 4 or 12, something like that. I don't know, but if you guys are enjoying this, I'll definitely keep bringing it to you. Just leave your questions, and if you guys got anything out of it, if this blessed you in any kind of way, it helps me out a lot when you leave a comment. Just because with stuff like this, it's always good to know that even if it's just 1 or 2 people, right? Like, it's good to know that it's working and it's helping, because then I don't want to stop. If it's not helping anyone, that's okay, and I just won't waste the time. But if it is helping people, I just want to make sure that it's there and that I'm consistent with it. So if it helps you, let me know in the comment section. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Have a blessed day. Till next time. God first. God bless.